Hello, everyone. How are you? And how is your Wednesday going? How is your week going? I hope it's fantastic. I am having a pretty spectacular week, I'll be honest. I have tackled and uh, what's the word I'm looking for? I've tackled and accomplished a huge feat, and I'm feeling extremely satisfied with myself. And I am here to share it with you today. I am so excited about today's style snack. I'm so excited, and I hope you are too. I think some of you saw a little bit of the sneak peek of what today's style snack is about, and so I can't wait to get started. Um, I want to talk to you today about the secrets to styling outfits in rooms with inspiration photos. More and more frequently, my inbox has been filled with messages of, I really miss seeing your outfit pictures. Did you quit Instagram? You haven't posted since July. And ever since this whirlwind of a cross country move began, taking pictures of my outfits became actually the very bottom of my priority list. It's a lot more work than most people realize, especially when you have no photography or editing skills like I do. It's on my list of things to do, learn more about photography and photo editing, but it requires time, practice, and many other things. And so in my previous home, I used a studio space so I could set everything up and have it ready to go. I would have to make adjustments here and there, but it made it just as easy as possible to take my outfit pictures with the least tear inducing trauma. I will not lie. I have been in tears before over trying to take pictures that don't look horrible. And, you know, I I had that set up. That just made this really challenging, frustrating thing so much less challenging and frustrating. But then we packed, we moved again. We started unpacking. We had to get the kids settled in school and sports and look for furniture. So still no outfit pictures because I had nowhere to take them. And the one time I did it, it literally took me 2 hours to adjust lighting and camera settings. And because I'm really just, I have this nice camera and it's really like giving a Chanel bag to a toddler. I have no idea what I'm doing with it. I'm just pressing buttons and moving things around and hoping it looks better than it did before. So now that things have settled down a little bit, I started to think about how to stage my new studio, and I was stumped. What did I want? What should it look like? I had no idea. And when my friend sent me some progress pictures of her new studio and her inspiration picture, it gave me the kick in the pants I needed to tackle this project. It took me 2 full days and about 15 trips to the stores and help from my partner in crime, AKA my husband, to shop for and style this space. So honestly, I got most of it on my very first shopping trip. The other extraneous shopping trips were swapping a few things and looking for a few details. So that I saw that last Wednesday. She sent me that, and I spent 2 days this weekend doing this. And once again, in this journey of styling and furnishing my home, I turned to what I already know from styling and stocking my own wardrobe and helping you do the same. And this has kind of become a series, an unintended series, but I've just learned so many valuable lessons and shared them with you, and you seem to have enjoyed hearing about them. And so I wanted to share this lesson as well, because I've shared with you in the past how to shop your closet and recreate an an outfit that you find on Instagram, on Pinterest, wherever. And in this case, because we got rid of almost all of our furniture when we moved, I couldn't shop my home to recreate this space. And so I did have to shop the stores. But if your home is not devoid of furniture, you could shop your home to create an inspiration space. And it's honestly where I would start first, because I did get a few of the accessories I already owned, but the rest I did have to buy. So you have to have a place to start. Few things are as overwhelming and challenging to me from a creativity standpoint as a blank canvas. My mind becomes as blank as that canvas. When the possibilities are endless, how do you get started? Whether you're planning an outfit or a room, limits can actually give you a place to start. So with an outfit, consider, where are you going to wear this outfit? What style is appropriate for the event? What's your style? And when styling a room, similar questions come into play. How will I use this room? What style do I want to use in this room? And what style is appropriate to the space? And when I was thinking about what to do with this space in my office for filming and photography, I had no idea where to start, because my previous studio was much smaller. And that's always easy. I had a rug, a chair, a throw, and a shelf with a few accessories. So I didn't have to get that much. It really wasn't that hard. This space is larger, and that makes it a lot more complicated. So I considered these factors that I just named to you. When looking for inspiration, where do we turn? Pinterest is usually the answer. And just as I do when I'm looking for fresh ideas of how to style a clothing item, I set out looking for inspiration rooms to give me some ideas. And as I looked for the ideas, I kept these points in mind. First was use of space. This is a studio. It's a set. It's not a main living area. And it's in my office. I will sit there and use it. I love it so much, but it's not in the same way that other parts of my home are going to be used. It doesn't have to be as durable and kid-friendly as the rest of my home. Although I will tell you, as soon as this was all set up, I was invaded. Suddenly all of my kids were down here, rolling all over it and playing with the dog. And I'm like, no, guys, you have the rest of the house to do that. Definitely come visit me. Definitely come spend time with me, but definitely do not use this as the new hangout. It also didn't have to be as expensive as furnishing some other rooms. So everything in this space came from At Home, Home Goods, Ross, and one item came from Target. And I'm going to tease you with little sneak peeks of the room as we go. And so I wanted to show you a little bit of it. So all three of these items came from Ross. The leopard statue, the vase, and the flower. The name of it, the orchids. Thank you. Okay, the orchids. And Ross, but they're beautiful. They look beautiful, and I absolutely love them. And they were all under $20. So you can't beat that. I mean, I would put these in the rest of my home. I love them. They didn't have duplicates, so they're staying in my office. And since I'll be photographing my outfits and filming in this space, I've got a new course that I'll be releasing in December, and I've got to start filming. That was another reason I was so stressed about getting this space done, because I have to start filming and working on that tomorrow, actually. And it needs to be an attractive and interesting background, but not the focal point, and not too busy. If I'm demonstrating something in a video, I want you to notice the item I'm demonstrating and featuring, and not be focused on what's going on behind me. This space is a background. It's a backdrop, but I also look at it all day from my desk. It's right there, and I want to like what I'm seeing. I want to enjoy it. I want it to be beautiful. I knew I wanted some shine, but nothing reflective, or you would see my lights glaring back at you and just, it would throw off the whole picture if I've got these spotlights happening behind me. I chose colors that would highlight my outfits and not compete. With as much black as I wear and as dark as my hair is, I can't have anything too dark behind me or I'll blend in. In fact, when I ordered the shelf that's going to go back here, I ordered white, because if I went with the wood, especially the darker wood that is so pretty, like my hair would be lost. And if I was wearing a dark shirt, my shirt would be lost and I would just look like a floating face and neck. So these were all things that I had to consider as I was considering the use of my space. I would have loved to use navy, a navy chair or something, but my pants would disappear in a navy chair. So I didn't do that. And I also wanted to be able to use this space from several different angles for more variety. So I kept those dimensions in mind as I was doing this. It won't always be straight on. And I was thinking about all the different angles that I can use this space from to get some variety and more interest, right? So let's take a peek at another picture to tease you just a little more. I'll be honest, I'm totally enjoying hinting at things for you. Hold on, I've got to hide a few things because otherwise, and my volume's on, I can only see so many things at a time. And I've got so many pictures open to show you, it will only pull up a few. Let's look at a close-up of my rug, because rugs have been just a hot topic here, right? Rugs have been my nemesis. So this is actually the sister rug to the one my desk sits on. And I was at first like, oh, 2 rugs, but it really works. And you may notice there's no more echo. When you put in rugs and furniture, it makes a big difference. And actually, I was interviewed for a podcast not too long ago, and I literally covered the entire floor and my desk with bath towels. I carpeted the whole floor with bath towels, and the echo was still awful. It was terrible. And I had to use my AirPods to get rid of the echo because it just sounded like I was in a tunnel. Because basically I was. And it made such a difference. So this is an extreme close-up of the rug, but you can see it's got the light white, silvery gray. It's got some blue. It's got a little bit of purple in it, which is surprising, but I actually really like it. It's very subtle. And usually you can't see the purple that intensely. It's very, this is like right up on it. And when you're seeing it from an angle, it's very, very subtle. There's a thread just stabbing me in the neck. Okay, sneak peek number 2. So the next thing to consider is your style. This space has to look like me. It has to reflect my style and the style of my brand. I want to feel at home in it. I spend a very large portion of my day in this office. I want to enjoy it, and I want to feel like it belongs to me. And so what style was that? What story am I trying to tell with my space? The same way you tell a story with your outfit and your appearance, you're telling a story with your style and your space. And because this is going to be in my outfit pictures, it's going to be in my videography, it needs to tell my style as well. So once I defined what that style was, I knew what to search for on Pinterest, because I had searched before, like studio background, photography studio, and I just got nothing good. And then as soon as I was like, okay, now I know what style I'm looking for now, I searched that plus room, And it was one of the very first results I found. And as soon as I saw it, I knew I had found the one. So let me show you the inspiration. Well, let me show you what that space looked like before. It was actually just really empty. I didn't take a before picture. I didn't think about that. But this is a picture of me during the Fall Wardrobe Guide launch, and you'll see all the boxes, well, some of the boxes lined up under the window. And I was getting ready for a style secret with the Stunning Style Society. I was going to do the try on, and I was just playing with my camera, just getting started to work with lights and see, how far back I needed to stand so they could see me. And so this is just a picture I took just as I was about to start playing with my camera settings, because I had never used my camera in this space before. So it's 12 feet wide, and this wall comes out about 6 feet, maybe 5 feet. I'm just kind of looking at my rug to gauge. I put an 8 by 10 rug in here. So the rug comes past here, about out to here. So this is the space that I was working with, just big, blank, and rectangular. And now I'll show you my inspiration photo. Things are getting serious now. We're going big. This was my inspiration photo. So now that I've found my inspiration photo, I have to break it down into the elements so I can recreate it. And if you're looking at your inspiration photo, it's possible you may want to recreate it exactly as it is, or like me, maybe not. So for me, the coffee table would have just been in my way. I didn't want the coffee table, so I eliminated that altogether, and I decided against the wallpaper. And I changed some other things around, but those were two really big elements that I just eliminated right off the bat. I just wasn't going to do it. So let's look at the elements. First, what styles are being used? This room has a classic, glam, soothing, feminine look to it, but it also has some edge and hard lines. And for me, that's perfect. I chose to go with a little more edge to reflect my personal style. And knowing my own personal style makes all of the difference. It makes it so much easier. And all of this torture of this home furnishing journey, I've learned what I love. I've defined my home decor style, and I can share that in another style snack. But this really helped me nail this down. And knowing my style in my wardrobe as well just makes everything easier. And I have a free masterclass called 5 Steps to Find the Right Clothes for You. And it is a great launching point to help you figure out what you do and don't love. And honestly, as I was thinking about it today, I should have gone through this masterclass again for my home decor, because it's kind of the same elements. And it comes with a free workbook, so you can do the 5 steps at your own pace, but it really works for both. And I had never really considered that before. So you can take the masterclass. It's free by going to stunningstyle.com/masterclass. And I think you'll really love it. I've gotten so much great feedback about it. So now that I know what styles are being used in the inspiration picture, I know that they go along with what I love. The next thing I want to look at is color. What colors are they using? Do you like those colors? What types of colors are they using? What are the tonalities? And so in this case, I did not want to use the exact same color palette. This inspiration color palette is gray, white, gold, and brown for the neutrals. And pink is the main color with just a little bit of greenery. So instead of pink, I used blue and magenta as my colors with the greenery, and I stuck with the same neutrals, though I proportioned all of the colors differently than this photo. The inspiration photo uses the pink sofa as the largest dose of pattern or of color and item in the room. And I reversed that and I used neutrals in the largest piece and blue and magenta in the smaller items. White immediately draws the eye, and I also wear quite a bit of white. So I use that very sparingly. I did not want, so, for example, in this photo, the white, you've got that large screen there in the corner, that large white poof and the white chair. And those are the things that draw your eye first. And so I didn't want your eye to go over there. Also, if I'm wearing white pants, well, there goes my pants, or a white top, that disappears into that. So I used very little white. The tonality in both rooms is soft and muted, but there's also some sheen in the gold accessories, the velvet sofa, and the rug. So once again, I wanted the overall look to be light and bright, just like in the rest of my house. And so I stuck with the same concept of color. I just switched them around. The next thing to consider is pattern. So what patterns are being used in your outfit, your inspiration outfit, or in this inspiration room? Do you like those patterns, or would you use a different one or different ones in the case of this room? And how would that change the room? Because the patterns can really change the style of the room. So in this case, this inspiration photo, there are a lot of abstract watercolor marbling patterns, like in the wallpaper, the painting above the sofa, the rug, and the pillows. And if you substituted those soft patterns that are very subtle with something like large florals, well, that would change the style of this room a lot, maybe for the better, if that's what you prefer. And maybe it would just change it so much so you're like, oh no, that's not what I wanted at all. There's an animal skin pattern in the pillow. There's a seashell pattern and triangle shape patterns on the two screens. The ottoman also has a triangle pattern and some vertical lines. And then the vertical lines are repeated in the tufting of the sofa, the legs of the tables, and the floor lamp. Not a floor lamp, a table lamp, sorry, that reading lamp, and the vase. So let me show you another little sneak peek. We'll bring this picture back up because we're referencing it, but I wanted to show you a little bit of the pattern that I brought in to my studio. So you saw that I had some of these, we'll go back to this picture briefly. I brought in some of this leopard pattern here on the leopard statue. I've got these diamond shape angles here, which that's a shape that I love. And then I've got some horizontal lines here in the vase of these orchids. For some reason, the word orchid keeps leaving my head and I'm struggling to bring it back. And then I've got a circle here with the shape of my table. Then I've got this leopard throw here that I brought in. And so I've repeated the leopard again. And then here you've got a little more of the angular shapes here, very subtly on this pillow. So those are some of the patterns that I brought in to my space, and you'll see more of them when we do the full reveal. Well, and actually, let's look back at the rug. I've got more of that soft watercolor abstract in my rug here. So I've pulled in a lot of the same patterns that they used in that space. That's some of what I loved about it. Okay, let's go back to our inspiration photo. And let's talk about texture. There is a lot of texture in the inspiration photo. It's got the tufting on the pillow. You've got the animal skin pillow. The rug is very textured. The plants bring in texture. In my room, I brought in texture with curtains instead of those screens. And I use a lot of the same textures in there's also, you've got some texture here on the chair legs. I used a lot of the same texture in my room as well. The next element that we're looking at in either an outfit or an inspiration room is shine. And like I said before, because I'm using this space for photography and videography, I made sure that the items I chose had more of a sheen than a shine, and they weren't reflective. So you didn't get that reflection of my lights coming back at you. And while the tables, the lamp, and some of my accessories and the painting that I chose have a lot more sheen, the rug, the pillows, and the velvet furniture also have a sheen to them. So let's see if I can show you another one with the, I have to hide some of these other pictures that so I can pull up new ones. You saw some of the shine and sheen with that table. Okay, I'll show you a bigger one now. This is a bigger piece of the room. Oh, no, not you. Okay. So over here, you can see I've got, well, here's some of that marbling pattern that we talked about. And you can see up here in this painting, you've got some of that watercolor type thing. You've got some of the sheen here and the gold here. This lamp base has some gold sheen. The table here has some gold sheen. Both of these pillows have some sheen to them. And this pyramid doodad, I don't know what you would call that, also has some sheen to it. And the one thing I was really worried about was the mirror tops of the tables. But fortunately, the lights don't hit it dead on. So when I first put them in, before I used my studio lights, there's some can lights above that. And it was just like spotlights shining back up the wall, reflecting off those mirrors. And I was like, oh, no, we cannot have that. But once I softened it with the studio lighting, and it wasn't a direct hit, because those cans are basically directly over those tables, that reflection went away. So here's some more of the sheen that I've used in this room. And even these curtains have just a little bit of sheen to them, and add some texture as well. So the next thing is contrast. Let's go back to our inspiration photo. Let's look at the contrast. This is not a very high contrast color palette. And mine, I would say, is maybe even less contrast because I use so little white. And instead, I used more variations of gray. And it has a very soothing and tranquil feeling, which is what I really wanted and what I like. The next thing we'll talk about when you're looking at an inspiration photo for an outfit or a room is balance and proportion. What is the balance and proportion of this room? So the largest piece in this room is the sofa. It's the anchor of the room. And then you have the screens and the large painting. The chair and the poof are substantial enough to stand up to the sofa without looking diminutive. The tables, lamp, and accessories are more delicate than the main pieces of furniture, which, not everything can be substantial. There needs to be some variety in balance and proportion. And they created height with the two screens on either side, as well as the painting in the middle. So I used a lot of the same proportions, but instead of screens, I used a taller lamp and a more substantial lamp than they used. And I used a small shelf over on the other side. I also used my that bougainvillea plant to help add height to that side. And I also used the curtains, which you'll see that more when I show you the whole thing. But the curtains also add height, sort of in the same way that those screens did, without being as noticeable and obvious as these two screens were. So the sofa that I used is the sofa I went to the store to get. And I came home with a chaise instead because I liked the lines of it. And next to the table and chairs that I am using, it looked like doll furniture. It was very tiny looking. It looked ridiculous. And so I can't show you that yet because that would spoil the surprise. But as soon as I got it in here next to this other stuff, like the painting was almost bigger than the chaise. And I was like, oh no, you can't be the center of my room. Like, you're not an anchor. You look tiny. And so I knew I needed something more substantial. And I went back for the sofa that I wanted in the first place at 9 p.m. That's right, 9 p.m. I went back to the store. So the last part of this that I want to talk to you about in elements, which you're not going to get from the inspiration photo, this has to come from you, is to personalize it. To make this space really personal, I added a few things that reflect who I am, what I love, what my interests are, my personal taste. So let me show you a few things that I added. Okay, here's a bigger shot of the other corner. So here's that shelf I added. And this statue of a woman sitting in the lotus pose reflects my love of yoga. It is my sanity. It is my escape. It is my release. And I love yoga. And so it's also a very serene pose. It's a focusing pose. And I just loved it as soon as I saw it. And it immediately came home with me. I added the golden leopard, the leopard throw, and there's also a leopard pillow that you haven't seen because I love that pattern so much. Let's see. Let me pull up. Oh, this shelf, I had this already. You may recognize that from it was in my old studio space. And then going back to, and another thing that I did differently was, so their tables, here, let's look at this. On their side tables, like this one, there's the floral arrangement and a mug. This one has this very spare reading lamp and a teeny tiny little plant. And then they've got more decor items here on the coffee table. And since I didn't do a coffee table, I added more of the decor items to my side tables as well as to that shelf in the corner. So let's go back to the other corner. I added, more of those stabby type angles with this triangle. What are we going to call that? Pyramid thing. Also, it's a little reminiscent of the Eiffel Tower and just that general shape, the pyramids, and my love of travel. Like, we just love to travel. And then this bougainvillea and the orchids, and there are just a few little succulents that you can't really see very well. They're just kind of just very much in the background on that wooden shelf. They're to remind me of my love of gardening. I love to garden and dig and shovel mulch. And this bougainvillea reminds me of those wild, unruly climbing roses from our last home. And all of them bring in some life to this space because I need that in my space and in my life. So I also added a small framed picture of my husband and me. And there's actually one more wall of this space that I can't show you yet because it's not done. I have to paint a frame. It's a photo. It's a little art collage, and I found just the right ones, but one of them has the wrong color frame. So I didn't have time to paint that and get it hung up. And I will take a picture of that and show you when it's done, but it adds just another angle that I'll be able to use. So are you ready to see the full reveal? I've been teasing you this whole time. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. Just like a parrot on Christmas morning, just drag it out as little bit as I can and enjoy it. I am ready to show you the full thing. So the big elements came together very quickly. A few of the details took a few tries, like the first curtains I brought home were just way too white. They didn't look quite that white in the store, but once I got them up on the walls, I was like, ugh. And so I had to go back for different curtains. And then the pillows. Oh, the pillows have been torture. I have bought and returned more pillows than I care to count. But most of these items came home with me on round one. So here we go. Ta-da! This is my new studio space, and I am beyond thrilled with it. I cannot even tell you how much I love it. It just feels perfect for me. And there are a few more things I'm going to tell you about what went into this. There are a few secrets that you would never know from looking at this picture, which is the whole point, as far as making this space practical and usable. But I just love, love, love this room. I love it. It is so soothing and tranquil. It is so me. It's got just a little bit of everything that I want. And so you can see here, this is the color. I thought I was going to have to paint. I really did not want to. I really love, this is the gray color that is used in half of my home. I don't know why. We talked about this another time. They chose two very different neutrals, and I can't understand why she did that. This is the gray I love. And I thought I was going to have to paint to get more interest or something, and I'm really glad I didn't because I hate painting. But I was able to bring in, if you look at this painting here, it really brings in all of the colors that I'm using in this space, except for the magenta. You can also see from this picture that the lavender, the purple color, really is not hugely noticeable, but it really kind of ties in that magenta color. They're in that same color family. I've got several different blues happening here. And so going with a variety of blues and grays is really how I was able to get more depth, dimension, and interest without adding a whole lot of colors. I've got some green here in the plants here. And then if you look down here in the corner and right here, I've got some succulents. And really the only white is these two little succulent bowls, and the orchids are white. These pillows are gray, but they have a little bit of that shiny pattern and texture in them. The sofa, I was worried it was going to be a little too dark, but I did take an outfit picture wearing all black just to test it, and I think it works. I brought in more blue in this slipper chair here, and then a little darker blue here in the ottoman. I've got my signature turquoise. That and the bougainvillea are the two only bold colors in here, but it's here in the background where it's not going to be front and center. And so it ranges from my signature cyan type color to an aqua, and then you've got more of these, icy blue here, and more of this medium powder blue here, and more of the turquoise here. And even in the marble lamp, there's more of that blue. In the rug, there's some blue. So getting all these different varieties of blues. And then the curtains and my walls are actually very similar in color. And I was really worried about that. But it has this texture and these little, I'll show you, well, here, let me show you one more picture. We'll talk about the curtains for a second. Here you can see there's just little striations and a little variety of, they look like, what is the name of that silk? That really textured silk. I can't make the word. Will somebody tell me what the word is? So it looks like they're not silk. They just look like silk. I got them at Home Goods. But they have that texture and some shine and a little bit of that variation in the color. So they did not blend in with the walls the way I was worried that they will. Some things you really just have to see in your space before you can know how. Shantung. Thank you, Emily. Shantung silk. I kept wanting to say Ashtung, and I knew that was wrong. Shantung. I was swapping a few of my letters. Or raw silk. Yes. Thank you, Sandra. Yes. Thank you. Some words just, there's a dark hole in my head, and some words fall in there, and like for some reason, orchid has fallen in there, and I can't make that word come out. It's very frustrating. So, I am so pleased with this space. It wouldn't be the perfect space for everyone, but it is for me. Some of you may have liked the pink better, and it's a beautiful room, but this really reflects who I am. I love pink, but not so much that I would buy a sofa that's pink. Blue has always been my favorite color, and it's always my instant go-to. So I really, really, really love this space, and I'm so happy with how it turned out. And I'll show you, on Monday, I took my first outfit picture in there, and I couldn't post it because then you would see my room, right? But this is me just looking super happy in my new space and at home. And, the black right here does get a little lost in this dark corner, but it wouldn't be the only outfit picture, right? This is more of a lifestyle shot and not a check out the details of my outfit shot. So there will be different types of shots and different ways that I can use this space. So I can sit here and put the camera here. I can face the camera this direction. This is the wall over here that I'm putting this little art gallery on. You can see the corner of one of them right there. And I can go all different angles in this space. So I'll even be able to put my camera in this corner and have this wall behind me. So I just have so much variety, so many different things that I can use as a background in one controlled setting so that I don't have a meltdown over my camera settings, because one day, I will get better at photography and I can move my camera around more. But for right now, I need simplicity, or I just can't. I can't spend 2 hours every day figuring out lighting and camera settings just to take an outfit picture. So I wanted to talk to you about a couple more things. The next thing I wanted to talk to you is about practicalities, because it's one thing to create this dream space, right? And you get this inspiration outfit or room picture, and you're like, that is like my dream come true. Well, for me, inspiration outfits that are dreams come true involve heels, sheath dresses, maybe something I could wear to the Oscars. I love to dress up. So that does not fit my lifestyle. I have 6 kids and a dog, and I work from home. And so why I don't need a lot of those clothes. And so those kind of inspiration outfits don't suit me and my needs. Occasionally they do, but overall they don't. And looking at this inspiration photo, I had to consider the practicalities and work around them. So there's a giant secret in this room that you don't know about. And I really went back and forth whether or not to tell you about it. Kind of like seeing the wizard behind the curtain. Suddenly the Wizard of Oz is just a man behind a curtain, right? This isn't quite that extreme, but sometimes the mystery is better. But the whole point of this was to share with you, to inspire you, and to give you ideas as you're working with your own inspiration photos. So I just decided to show you everything. But I really did go back and forth about that until about an hour ago. And then I decided to show you. So I got out my camera and I took some pictures. So let me show you this corner of the room. There's the left corner of the room. And what you cannot see is this. The example that I just used of the man behind the curtain was fairly literal. Da-da, there's a closet there. That's a closet door. And I did not want that closet door in my pictures. And I also didn't want to have to try to shoot in all the ways that would hide that closet door so that I could crop it out. I wanted to be able to use this whole side of the room. And so not only does it look really weird to have a closet door like right behind all your stuff, like it just kind of looks cramped and awkward. It's white and it's large. And so what did we talk about with white? Your eye goes right to it. And so that would have been the most noticeable element in the whole room, is that big white door. And so there's a curtain on the, there's a window on the other side. And I decided to just curtain them both. And the other one, I just have it peeking open just a little, and I put in a white sheer. Do I have a picture that shows that white sheer? It won't show directly, but let me see. This one, you can see it. I hung a white sheer in here with a tension rod just right inside the top of the window. Number one, to filter the light so I could control the light better, but also so that if for whatever reason those curtains are peeking open and I didn't catch it, you'll just be like, oh, that's another white sheer peeking out from her other window. So that was the mystery. So there's actually a window here. That is a closet on the other side. And I think the other thing is it probably also really helps with the sound and the echo. So I'm actually going to put curtains. There are 4 windows here around me by my desk, and I'm going to frame these windows with curtains, but they'll just sit to the sides and frame the windows. But when I'm filming, I'll be able to close them and control the light better, no matter what time of day I'm doing it. So I love this space, and that is one of the practicalities that I had to work with. I could have used a screen. It had to be a tall screen, but that gets into the functionality because I want easy access to that closet. I store things in there that I need to access frequently and easily, and I did not want to be moving a screen all the time. I don't have to move the table or a chair or anything to get my stuff in and out of there. I could just walk through, part the curtains, get what I want, and shut them again. So it works really perfectly for me. And yeah, that's what I did. That was my big bag secret. And then the last thing I wanted to talk about was, I've showed this picture. I showed it to my friend, a few of my friends, like the one who who gave me the kick in the pants I needed to get going on this, and just a few other friends. And they were like, gold? You used a lot of gold in here. You don't wear gold, you wear silver. And the truth is, I don't wear gold. I do wear silver, but I still like gold, just not on my body. It's very louche and it provides a really great contrast with the gray walls and the other gray in the room. If I used silver, it would have just blended in and disappeared. So I use that gold for contrast, for sheen, and I like it. We've talked before about how I wouldn't wear any of these colors. The colors that I like to decorate my home in are not the colors that I like to wear on my body. So that includes gold. And I really like how the contrast, how they work together. And it makes me happy to look at it. So this was kind of a long style snack, more like a style buffet. I maybe should have broken it up into two, but I didn't want to string you along for another week and not show you the big reveal, but it would have been a little anticlimactic to show you the big reveal today and then next week go on and talk more about it. So I decided to go for the long one today. But I've been super excited to show this to you and ever so pleased with myself. I just, I keep showing the pictures to anyone who will look. Hey, stranger, I've never met you, lady, whose son is on my son's team, but do you want to see what I did this weekend? Because I did such a good job and I did it all by myself. So now sharing it with all of you really helps me get it out of my system. The society members got a sneak peek of it on Monday. I'm just so excited to tell you about it. Okay, let's take a look at the comments. Ree says, hi, April. I love the style pictures you post. Well, thank you, Ree. And now that my studio is done, I really don't have any excuse, do I? So I promise those will be more forthcoming and we can get back to it. And honestly, even though I hate taking my pictures and I hate publishing my pictures, I do really enjoy having that catalog of pictures that I can go back to and be like, I think I want to wear that. So it's really helpful. Judy just says, gold. I thought you were a silver girl. I knew someone was going to bring it up, so I just decided to address it before. Now you know the answer. Ree says, gold is really important to have in your office for prosperity, according to Feng Shui. Great choices. Well, all the better. Then I've got quite a bit of it. So, okay, Feng Shui, let's do it. Let's see, Lynn, thank you for putting your name, Lynn, so I can see you. I love how the vase incorporates your signature color. Well, thank you. Of course, I had to bring in my signature color. It's like Legally Blonde when she's trying to pick out that dress because she thinks that he's going to propose to her and her friends is, I just don't understand why you're ignoring your signature color. She's got such a point. Denise says, great tips. Well, thank you. And Judy gave me heart eyes over the sneak peeks. I hope you enjoyed them. Lori says, where are your earrings? My earrings are upstairs in my earring tray. I've worn some really heavy earrings lately and my ears just needed a break. Even though, sometimes I just need a break from earrings. My ears start to get a little sensitive to a variety of things. Until very recently, I could not wear any that were not gold or sterling silver. I couldn't, and recently in the last couple of years, I've been able to, but I cannot wear them too many days in a row or my ears start to burn and I just need a break from earrings altogether. So we're taking an earring break today. Denise says, my rugs are very similar to this rug. Well, Denise, you must have beautiful rugs. This is exactly the kind of rugs that I've learned that I like. They have to be a little shiny and silvery and white and blue and gray. So Marcy says, I love seeing the excitement on your face as you begin speaking or showing your furnishings. Well, I'm so glad, Marcy. I'm so glad because I'm having such a good time with it. And now that if you were here for my meltdown a few weeks ago, I was not having a good time. with it at all. And now that I have a clear vision of what I do and don't like, it's so much more fun. Just like when you know what you love and don't love in your clothes, getting dressed and shopping can be fun. When you don't know, it's torture. And that's really what the masterclass is for, is to help get you started with that. And so if you haven't watched the 5 steps to find the right clothes for you masterclass, go to stunningstyle.com/masterclass and sign up. It's free and it's really, really helpful. Like I said, I should have started with that and just reframed it for home decor. Shannon says, that's a beautiful rug. Well, thank you. It's the sister rug to the one under my desk. The one under my desk has a little more structure in the pattern, just a little bit. And I don't think it has any of the purple in it. But they're the same company and they're sister rugs. That's what I was told. So I love them. Ree says, blue and purple are the other feng shui colors recommended for prosperity as well. Well, so basically you're saying I'm about to win the prosperity lottery, and I'm really excited about that. So that's good. It's there. In some ways, I'm not a woo-woo person. In general, I'm not a woo-woo person, but I do believe that I do believe in setting intentions, and I do believe that you can. This is a topic for a whole other topic for a different day, but that you can set. Well, I guess basically just set intentions. Like inspiration boards, and those things come to you. Like you still have to do the work, right? But you have to create the intention first, or you don't know what you're working toward. And so colors very much affect your mood. They affect you mentally. And so it wouldn't surprise me at all if certain colors drive certain thoughts, which drive actions that create results like prosperity. So I wouldn't be surprised by that. So good. Then I chose well. And with 6 kids, let me tell you, they get more expensive as they get older. Patty says, you nailed the inspiration. So lovely. Well, thank you, Patty. I appreciate it. I love the version of it that I got for myself. Katie says, I have the same pillow on the left, the white chair on my bed with a dark denim duvet cover and gold pillows. You mean the one from the white chair in the inspiration photo? Such a pretty pillow. I've got a few leopard pillows scattered around my house. I've got a few in my bedroom and a few in my office, and the rest of my office space isn't done yet. I'm waiting on this shelf to come, and then when this side is done, I'll show you this side as well, because I'm really excited about it as well. Most of it's ready, but I can't finish until that shelf comes, and that won't be until like Christmas time. So that might get revealed after the new year. Judy says, beautiful. Well, thank you, Judy. I appreciate it. Shannon says, gorgeous. Thank you, Shannon. Michelle says, I love that the bougainvillea brings in the purples from the rug. Me too. You know, when you're creating, especially something as big as a room or a space like this, sometimes you can have a standalone element, but usually it's more pleasing to the eye if you repeat it or tie it in some way. And so if I didn't have any purple in the rug, that bougainvillea, I think it would still look nice, but I think it's more pleasing to the eye that there's a little bit of that purple and that same color family in the rug. Rose says, I love it. Stunning. Well, thank you, Rose. I do too. A Facebook user says, the space looks so inviting, very tranquil, as you say. I would also say cozy. I love how the colors flow with the same tones, etc. I'm curious as to what a tranquil style would be for you in your clothes. I tend to see you with more contrasts, red, black, white, blue. Would your tranquil fashion be what you wear when you are a whisper? Just curious. That's a really good question. And she's referring, with the whisper, she's referring to a concept we discuss in the Perfectly Put Together course. So Um, I agree. It is cozy. And I think that's why my kids, like, were all over it as soon as they came, and even my husband, his office is out there, but he'll come in and just sit on my sofa. It's very cozy. It's very inviting. It's very comfortable to sit in this space. And I plan to use it, like, just for my personal use as well. So tranquil style for me in my clothes is black. It's black. It's what I retreat to when I feel overwhelmed. Um, you know, I I say all the time that when I cannot control the chaos going on around me, I can control the chaos on my body. And so I eliminate color, I eliminate pattern, I eliminate as much as I can based on how much I need. And that's also why I decorate in these colors. My kids, I have 6 very noisy, happy, loud kids and a dog, and I they don't have a volume button. I've looked, it's not there, but I can control the volume on the walls and in the furniture and the floor. That I can control. And so then I just can't have my walls shouting at me and my kids. So for me, black is tranquil. Black clothing is very tranquil. And also, as you mentioned, whispering, just minimizing details. And so today I'm wearing all black except for a little color in my shoes and my lips. I'm not wearing any earrings. I'm not wearing a necklace. This is a tone on tone leopard pattern in my shirt to keep it interesting. But I also go for comfort as far as like how the clothes actually feel. Like, all of my clothes are comfortable, but there's a scale of comfort, right? So I just go, like, there's just stages of it, but black. Black, and in the society, we call them recovery outfits. When I've just had too much fun or too much stress or too much whatever, I need a recovery outfit. And that's what it does. Marian says Dupioni. Yes, another word for that silk I was looking for. Dupioni, raw, and shantung. Thank you. Barbara says, where did you find your tree? I love it. I got it at home. So the things I got at home, I can give you links to. It's a little tricky because you have to choose your location. It's tricky and helpful all at the same time. With at home, if you've never shopped there, this is my first experience with it. I guess I had seen it. I just never noticed it or really knew what it was. I figured it was like a home something or other, but it's like Costco and Hobby Lobby and Home Goods had a baby. So it's this big warehouse type, Costco type of experience. Like, they've got rows of big metal shelves with chairs and sofas and home decor on them. But it's got the home decor and furniture like you would find at Hobby Lobby and Home Goods, but more of all of it because it's so big and warehousey like Costco is. And a lot of the things that they sell, you cannot order to be shipped to your home, or at least not right now. I don't know if that was the case before, but just like everyone else, they are having supply issues and they're trying to get caught up. And so the way it's currently working is you choose your store location and it shows you what is in stock and how many are in stock. And then you can buy online and go for in-store pickup. I will say though, if you've ever worked in retail, and I experienced it firsthand, inventory is imperfect. And so it told me I needed 4 more of these curtain rods. That's why I haven't hung the curtains yet. I'm trying to get the matching ones. It told me there were 3 in stock. I went to buy them and no one can find them. 2 different associates looked, climbed up on the shelves, looked in the back, nothing. Where it said that there were 0 of a chair that I bought in stock. And I found 1. So just because it says it's not in stock doesn't mean it's not there. So go look anyway. And just because it says it has it doesn't mean they do. And be prepared for that as well. So I can give you the links to these items. You'll have to choose your store location and see, and it'll show you things that aren't in stock, which is really handy. You can add it to your favorites and just go back and check and see. There's a chair. I have a chair right here, and I want the matching one to go right here, and they don't have another one, so I've saved it to my favorites. They have one at a store 90 miles away, but it's just a little too far. And I can go back and keep checking. So the bougainvillea tree came from At Home. And I can list out, like Ross, you can't buy anything online from Ross. So if they've got it at your Ross, they do. Same with Home Goods. And if they don't, they don't. But you can at least look. But the chair, the sofa, the painting, the 2 end tables, the lamp shade, the aqua pillow, the throw, all came from At Home. The leopard, the vase, the orchid. Oh, the pyramid also came from At Home. Did I say that? The leopard, the vase, the orchid, and the yoga statue came from Ross. The leopard pillow came from Target. The succulents I already had. The vase, or the picture frame I already had. And then there's one more item that you really can't see it. It's back here. It's mostly glass, a little gold trim, and I would take it back, except on the drive home, the glass cracked. I'm not going to return it because it broke in my car, right? So it's just sitting back there, but you can't see it. And that also came from At Home. And then, the silvery gray pillows came from Home Goods. I think that's everything. The rug came from a local furniture store, the same furniture store that I've been buying my other things from. Joyce says it's really lovely, and I'll list all that in the blog post when it goes up. Joyce says it's really lovely. Now I have lost your video and see a message error loading on the screen. Oh, I'm sorry. That's a bummer. It might be an internet thing. Lakeitha says beautiful. Well, thank you. Barbara says beautiful room. Thank you. Wendy says it's gorgeous. Totally you. Thank you. And that is what I was going for. It had to reflect me, right? Emily says, oh, hold on. It bumped up. So is the door on the left wall not going to be used, or you just keep the drapes open when you're not taking photos? Oh yeah. So I answered that. I'll just leave it closed because it's prettier to me to just look at the curtains, but I do get in and out of that closet. I keep equipment and things in there. A Facebook user says, I laughed when you shared the mystery because I've been wondering if there were actual windows behind the curtains. Well, one of them is actually a window and the other is not. Wendy says, genius idea. Thank you. Maddie says, you did do a wonderful job. Thank you, Maddie. And thank you for the kick in the pants. Maddie's the one who was sending me her progress photos, and that's what got me going. Stacy says, which state and town did you leave, and which state and town did you move to? We lived in Salt Lake, and now we live in Knoxville, Tennessee, which is where I'm from. So this is my hometown. Stacy says, did you change climates? How will that affect your wardrobe? I did change climates, and it does affect my wardrobe. We've talked about it a little bit in these last style snacks, and it's something we'll talk about more. That was the desert. This is practically the rainforest. It's a lot colder and it snows there. It's very dry there. It's like living in a dehydrator. And here it doesn't get as cold. It rarely snows, but it rains a lot and it's very humid. So I just bought some rain shoes that you'll see, I'm sure, in an upcoming outfit, because got to walk the girls to the bus stop, rain or shine or dark. Rain or dry. It's usually not shining. It's dark. So that's something we'll talk about more. Rachel says, just catching the end. I've been working a lot. I miss watching it live. Oh, Rachel, I'm sorry you missed it live too. But as soon as we're done here, you can watch the replay, and then it'll be up on my website tomorrow as well. Sarah says, wow, I have to create a clean, organic, modern office. I've been avoiding starting. Now your beautiful space tells me to stop procrastinating and get started. Sarah, I'm so glad. Here's your kick in the pants. Maddie's progress photos, and she had way more progress. Like she had to like start with walls, like having walls. So she has a lot more to do. I just had to buy furniture. So I was like, if she can do this, I can do this. I can do this. I've got this. And so that was my kick in the pants. Here is your kick in the pants. And I hope these tips help you get started. It really was not as hard as I thought it would be. Once I nailed these concepts, and that's why I shared them with you, it really was not as hard. So once you find your inspiration photo and you go through these elements, and then I took the photo with me, I had it on my phone. And so I just went through and I was like, velvet sofa, check. Okay, what do we have here? We have a watercolory type image or painting that pulls in all the colors of the room. And here's the scale I need it to be. Okay, there it is. And, so I kept this picture on my phone. And as I was going around and shopping in the different departments, I knew it was fresh. I could see exactly what I was looking for. Marion says, I can see curling up on the sofa and reading with the curtain open to see the outside. Me too. And unfortunately, so can my kids. So we're going to have some boundaries about that, guys. You've got your own spaces. But I do like that they'll be able to come down and have somewhere to sit and visit with me. Marion says, a hideout from the kids. Well, they know where to find me. And my door doesn't latch, so I can't lock it. That's on the list of things that the doors in this house have their own issues. But I really try to be done working by the time school's out so that I can be with them and be a full-time mom, because that's my priority. So no, I'm not usually hiding out from them. Occasionally, and if I do that, well, at my old house, I had a seating area out in my garden that I would go when I just needed a little peace, like in the summertime when they're always home. But yeah, during the school year, especially, I want to be up there with them when they're home. Sandra says, amazing how fast you did all this. Well, yes and no. I mean, I got most of it in that first shopping trip to At Home. And then I got these other things with a shopping trip to Ross. The pillows, gosh, the pillows on the sofa and the curtains took a little more back and forth. But so yes and no. Like I've been thinking about this and just like kind of agonizing over it ever since we bought the house, right? Like, what am I going to do there? It was this big wall of awful that I was avoiding. And so yes and no. Like it's something I had been thinking about, but it really was when Maddie was like, well, I'm using this inspiration picture. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to find an inspiration picture and do my room. And fortunately, because I knew what style, and it took all this time for me to figure out what style I was going for in my house, because I knew that, I found my inspiration picture very quickly. But like figuring out the style took a while. Identifying what it was. Like it was in here, but I didn't have names for it. So I couldn't look for it and I couldn't mesh it. Just like your style is inside of you. It's not for someone to give you. And that's what this masterclass helps you with, to pull it out of you. It's in there. You just need to name it, identify it clearly so that you can focus your efforts on that and eliminate the things that don't go with that. It was the same with my home decor. And it just took me a while to really kind of nail what that was and sift. Like I could look at something and say, I love that, or I hate that, but I couldn't really nail down why always and how that all went together. So yes, I accomplished the actual thing in 2 days, but there was a lot of lead up to it. So, I don't want you to look at this and be like, oh, I could never do it that fast, because I didn't. I did, but I didn't. I hope that makes sense. There was more, because this was new to me, right? So there was more going on in the background leading up to this. And then suddenly it just kind of clicked and I was ready and I did it. Stacy says, move to Tennessee, shop in Draper James, and tell us what you think. To live vicariously. Oh my gosh. I dreamed about Reese Witherspoon last night. I did not remember that until this very moment. She owns Draper James. And it's such cute stuff. I don't know if she has a store here in Knoxville. I know there's one in Nashville. So if I go to Nashville, yeah, I'll go. Maybe Reese will be there. Maybe she wants to be my best friend. Maybe not. But I love Tennessee. It's home to me. I absolutely love it. Marion says, I love watching Maddie's progress. Me too. It's so inspiring. She and I have such different decor styles, but I love what she's doing. Like, it's one of those, it's like outfits, I can admire how spectacular her space is and know that it wouldn't be for me. And my style would never be for her. I think she would just be bored to tears in this room. She needs more color and sizzle. Ree says, great inspiration. I'm currently relocating my office from the main floor in my home because I have 3 teenage boys attending school at home now. Oh my gosh, Ree, you would never, I could. My office, so actually the whole basement of our house is our offices. And it really helps me and my husband like separate work life from home life. So when I come down the stairs, I'm in work mode. And when I go upstairs, I'm in home mode. I'm in mom mode. And so, when our kids are currently attending school, it's likely to change, right? But when they were doing, my old office was on the main floor, which I liked in some ways, and in others I didn't. But the school thing, like I could hear everything, and they were just like in and out of my office all the time. So I don't blame you. And good luck. May the odds be ever in your favor. I will soon be joining you, I'm sure. Cindy says, where did you find your style picture? Pinterest or a magazine? I found it on Pinterest. So yeah, I think I might have searched something like glam living room. Let's see. Something like that. I think that's what I was searching when I was looking for this. And it was one of the very first things that popped up. And so that's where I found it. Because I had searched a lot before and just the search terms I was using weren't working because I was looking for studio background, that kind of thing, which is what it was going to be, but not in the same way like a baby photographer would use, where they just have like a sheepskin rug and a basket and a few blankets and a wall screen. So anyway, I think that's what I searched, like glam living room or glam sitting area or something like that. Pinterest, or Lynette says, I love Pinterest. I found you there. Well, I love Pinterest too. And I'm glad you found me there, Lynette. I love having you around. You're fun. Okay, this has been, like I said, a style buffet instead of a style snack, but I'm so glad you joined me. This has been so much fun, and I have just been dying to share this with you, and I couldn't share any outfit pictures until I did. So, and that was kind of actually a little mercy because I don't like doing it, but it is necessary to my job. So I will get back to it. I won't lie and say I didn't love the break. I hope this has been as much fun for you as it has been for me. I kind of doubt it because it's probably the most fun for me, but I appreciate sharing it with me and being able to share it with you. and that you've been with me on this journey, and that I can be part of your journey. So don't forget about the masterclass. You can go to stunningstyle.com/society. It's free. It comes with a free workbook. And it is really a great launching point to helping you figure out your style, what you do and you don't love, whether that's for home decor or for your outfits, apparently. And I can't wait to hear what you think. Have a wonderful, wonderful Wednesday and a wonderful rest of your week. And I will see you again next Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time.